Good evening. This is the July 13th, 2016 meeting, excuse me, of the Auburn Conservation Commission. Chris, are we live or are we being recorded? Wonderful. So anyone who is now watching us in real time can review the video that is being recorded of this at the Auburn website, which is auburnguide.com. Before we start with the meeting, we have a couple of housekeeping matters. But first of all, is anyone making a recording? Say no one showing that they are. The first item on our agenda is our board's reorganization. Excuse me. We are required.
Well, is that one though?
Can you open that door in the back,
There
please?
should be a note on there, there's a meeting going on.
There is,
Does
there
it?
is, there is.
Does it say there's a meeting going on?
Just so we can have a little ventilation. Thank you. All right. So in any event, as members of the commission know, our Vice Chairman, Charles Olson, has moved from the town of Auburn, and so we need to fill his spot as Vice Chairman, but we also need to reorganize as required by the bylaws of the town of Auburn. We need to reorganize every year. So I'm going to turn it over now to our trusted administrative assistant, Sheila Conroy.
I'd like to entertain a motion to elect someone for the chair position. Is that right?
That's good.
I move that Michael Garland is a potential nominee.
I second that.
Okay, and a vote?
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Okay.
All right, thank you, everyone. I would like to nominate Tom Fallon to be Vice Chairman of the Commission.
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Congratulations, Tom.
Congratulations, Tom.
Okay. All right, the first item on our agenda is a 7 p.m. public hearing. JW Land Development LLC, a request to amend an order of conditions that was previously issued on November 12th of 2014. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Okay, gentlemen?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So yeah, we're here to amend the original order conditions on Lot 5. Originally when we came in, we didn't know what house we were going to build, so we just put a 35 by 75 box on there. We since have had a contract with a customer, and that box layout has changed, which is reflected in the plan that you guys have.
Can you identify yourself, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Justin Stelmach.
Okay, and then who is to your left?
John Stelmach.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Has to be done.
Yes.
Good
Okay.
housekeeping.
And so what I also printed out here is the original plan that we came in with. If you all want to take a copy. And then it has in red or in pink, it has the new house that we're going to be putting on.
All right. And can you just tell us briefly how this differs from the original proposal?
It's a Cape house where originally it was just a box colonial that we had put on, again, because we didn't know what house we were going to be building at the time. Overall, the roof actually shrunk a little bit compared to that box. And we also pulled the house about 10 feet closer to the road. So the driveway shrinking by about 10 feet.
Okay. And now reduce impervious area, this, is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and are there any questions from the board?
The driveway's right from Prospect Street, correct, right in here. This is
Sorry?
where it's being reduced in this area, from the Prospect Street area, the driveway's being reduced.
Yes, the whole house,
Because the
that
house is-
plan that I just passed out doesn't reflect it, but the plan that your 11 by 17 does show the house is actually 10 feet closer
Okay.
to Prospect Street.
Thank you.
Okay. Any comments from the audience? All right. There being none, is there a motion to close?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And also, you want a quick update on what we're doing in Windmill too?
Sure.
Okay. Last time when I came in, I think it was back in May for my house across the street, 55 Prospect Street. We were just finishing up the large retention area, or replication area. So that's been completed. So all 3 of the replication areas are done. So anytime that you guys want to come up and do a walk, we welcome you to come up.
All right, I'm sure we will.
55,
Okay. Yeah. And then we're also shortly gonna be coming in, there's 4 lots, 4 windmill estates that we're gonna be required to do NOIs for. So we're gonna be filing for those shortly too.
Very good. Okay. All right, gentlemen,
Good.
thank you
What
very
was
much.
the
The street, what did you, I can never remember
Whitman
that.
Bailey Drive.
Whitman Bailey.
Bailey Drive.
That's where you
Okay.
Great.
Good enough.
Good?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Thank you, guys.
It's not quite 7:15, but I understand from Mr. Gravoski that we're going to be continuing that matter.
Yes.
Do you think he's going to come in?
You see,
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you. Well, in that case, we'll wait.
Probably for Pioneer Lane too, I don't know.
I think Pioneer's going to be at the next meeting,
That's different.
Oh,
That's
okay.
continued already to 7/27.
right?
Is it?
Oh, okay,
See
that's
that
right.
bottom, yeah.
You're right.
All right, since we have a few minutes, shall we go over the meeting minutes for June 22nd?
Hey, Glenn.
today,
You've all made Tom Fallon correction.
first correction, I
You've
wasn't
all
here
made
for
Tom
last
Fallon,
meeting.
Tom Fallon correction. Tom's not here for that
Seriously?
meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
I know.
Tom was
That's what I
not.
told this morning, I'm
That
not
was
saying
not
nothing.
a meeting.
He was present
You
in
what?
After
spirit.
what I told this morning, I'm not saying what yesterday morning.
So, 7 p.m., Masad Family LLC, end of the paragraph.
Mhm.
What's with all the asterisks?
Because I didn't know who made the motion, who seconded it, and there was no live thing that I could
There were
go
stars in
back
her eyes.
to,
So, you don't remember?
does anyone remember?
Could review the recording.
Well, there's no recording out yet that I could get my hands on, otherwise I would have done that. If we want to just wait until and we
I
can...
think,
Might
well,
as well.
why don't we do this? Let's go through, make the other corrections, and then we'll just
Oh,
carry it over to the
Assuming
next
there are
meeting.
others.
I'm
Well,
coming
let's see.
Okay.
Michelle opened it, I closed it, but that was about it. Michelle opened it and I closed it.
So 4 Pioneer Lane, third line.
Mhm.
Is that, the volume of water on the site, was that a sort of acre-foot measurement? I'm not, it was 0.235 acres?
Could I clarify that? Acre feet.
Acre feet?
So it's 235
Thank you.
acre feet?
0.235
Point,
acre feet.
point two three
Yeah,
five.
that's-
Acres slash feet.
I've got the point.
I don't care, I heard the feet.
Okay, so
Okay.
make sure you put the slash in there. Thank you, Mr. Gravoski.
Thank you very much.
Not every day we have a person in question to correct the stat. Tech Associates, third line. There are no seeds involved. It's a super seeding, not super
Sorry about that.
seeding.
Har.
I just really
Linguistics.
breezed through this thing and didn't even really check.
It is funnier spelled that way.
I did send it to everyone for corrections, however you must not have gotten that email.
Mr. Garland, it is
It might have
closed.
escaped my
Says it is
notice.
closed.
Yes, it is closed.
Okay.
Looks good otherwise to me.
All right. So we can't approve it because we still need to determine who made the motion to continue the hearing and who did the second. So we'll continue this, the minutes until our next meeting on July 27th. Yeah, and we still have 5 minutes.
We're all caught up on the minutes, huh?
Yeah. Have we heard from Bill Coyle?
No, he was on vacation.
Yeah, so is he back this week?
He
or-
is back this week, yeah.
Okay.
I did send him an email.
All right. And then I also see under this miscellaneous 14 Rochelle Street. What is that?
He had come in here and I thought he was going to be filing a notice of intent,
Okay.
or a request of determination, I mean, and just never came back. So he was thinking about constructing quite a large size shed. And he bought some of the town's property there on Burnett Street.
Okay.
I mean, his street comes in and then Burnett. So I think it was in that area, but he does have to file. So maybe I should just take it off there until he does file.
I think you're probably right.
He bought some property
Okay.
on Burnett Street.
Yeah, he bought some from the town.
Because he didn't have a lot of room,
Yeah.
I recall.
And then we've received an as-built plan for the Auburn Middle School.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
So we just have to make arrangements to go out there and take a look.
I
So,
had sent out, I guess it would be Matt Prasad.
okay.
He was the engineer, so I'm just waiting for them to get back to me.
Yeah,
They may have already, I didn't check my email, I had to leave early today.
okay. I think we should try to shoot for a site walk.
The 23rd, was it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
This weekend is not.
Yeah, I had sent that to them, so.
All right.
You sent them to school, Shelley, you sent this. You emailed me.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that's, you know you did that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I do that or did Matt? Matt had sent something.
Oh, I think it's Matt.
But that's okay. He
I
told me.
saw Matt's name. that's what he
I
said.
wish you would.
Is
Does he
there?
have conflicts or is he just on schedule?
This is
Yeah, I
for
took it off of mine, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I sent the plans, but Matt had sent that.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
You
yep.
remember that? Yeah, can't try.
Did you guys look and check?
No, I think he's thinking,
Oh, the 23rd.
I think he's thinking.
My son's at the Braves that game tonight. Do you know who are allowed to do the announcing? The team knows when they go up to bat. Didn't even sound like it. Just Yeah.
Well, last week.
Oh,
Be interesting for the sake of curiosity, attending.
Beg your pardon?
Can we recess?
We are waiting another 2 minutes before we begin.
I want to remind everybody the mic is live.
Thank you.
Attending one of these up in Burlington.
Position.
It'd be interesting sitting in on one of these up in Burlington.
Yeah. Okay, it being 7:15 PM. The next item on our agenda is a 7:15 continuation of a public hearing for Massett Family LLC regarding a notice of intent for the realignment of Faith Avenue. Is there a motion to open?
So move.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Thank you. Dear Commission, thank you very much. We did send out information, we have our final plans from Waterman Associates, both on the specific plans that had replication and restoration on them, which was sheet 5 and 5A. We have now rectified all our, we believe, our numbers, which are bank loss and BVW loss and BVW replication and loss. I'm going to be here to ask for the last, hopefully, continuing, not that it couldn't be, there could be another one. We did send this information to Jillian, Mr. Garner, and also Sheila, showing that we have created charts that Jillian was requiring to show what we were originally had for Cullinan, HS&T, and Waterman with the different square footages. We're now over the bank loss with replication, and we're over the BVW replication with loss going back to 07, the original 575 and other numbers. We're finishing up a wildlife habitat evaluation for bank, which is similar to Ecotech's wildlife habitat evaluation, which talked about the bank lost originally allowed under the existing order of conditions. So lastly, we have expanded, Jillian Davies did ask for, this is obviously the Faith Ave, you can see. This is the discharge coming from across the street and eventually from the replication that's up gradient, and it's presently a concrete sluiceway, which we've explained before. And back in May, Jillian and I walked the site, and there was some discussion about restoring the channel that is presently a concrete sluiceway. We've come up with a design to restore and take out a man-made reinforced concrete sluiceway, create a channel, restore another flow path channel, which is now an erosion gully, and connecting to another intermittent stream channel. With all what we've done down below, plus the 980 square feet of replication, again, we're above the thresholds. We're going to show this to DEP, show them that we are meeting the performance standards. And lastly, I'll wrap it up on that the replication areas, the test holes that we have both in the lower replication area to the east and the one that we have up in the west. As we've explained before, we did have a soil evaluator up there from Waterman, proved that we actually had water when she was looking at them to satisfy DEP that these are going to be water-driven replication areas within and the final grades are within 1 foot or less of the high water table. That being said, we would be asking for a continuance to give Jillian Davies time to review the wildlife habitat evaluation, the graph that shows where the losses and replications came from, the final plans for 5A and 5, and lastly, even today there was one more error left on 5, which is the upper replication area, and we had Waterman looking at that. I should have it in my possession tomorrow. The full package of all the plans that, as Jillian requested, would go to her and the commission, along with what I've just explained I'm sending out.
All
So
right.
we're truly hopeful to have information in her hands within 5 to 7 days, which hopefully will give her enough time to have comment back to you for your next meeting. We ask for continuance to that meeting 2 weeks from now.
So July 27th.
Please.
It's gonna have to be 7:30 because I've already got 2 other hearings scheduled.
All right.
We'll write that down. Thank you. We'll fill this out.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience on this.
Don't thank me.
Oh, I'm the board. And thank you for writing that out for ahead of time. Thank you very much.
Okay, and we'll also see you on the 27th for Mr. Fan.
Yes, and we have Quinn Engineering here. Well, Quinn Engineering is here today to at least explain, if you choose to hear it, his compensatory flood storage, and I don't need to talk for him. I don't know if you have the time, but that's why we called him. And Mr. Fon did want Quinn here to show you that our engineer has now produced a plan showing lost compensatory storage, a small amount, you know, and he can explain that if you have 5 minutes. And I'm not sure you
First of
do.
all, we have to
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I want you to-
Okay, so is there a motion?
I make a motion that we postpone, sorry.
Continue.
Continue it to 7:27, 7:30.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, it's a vote. Okay. So, very briefly, can you tell us,
Mr. Chairman, I'll talk as fast as I can. I did a brief report here for the board that outlines how we determine the storage of the basins, if I may.
I'll get it.
There's two plans that we're going to put in front of you briefly, and I'll talk as quickly as I can.
okay,
We have an existing conditions plan here. That shows the topography of the site behind Mr. Fan's house as it exists right now if you walk it, irrespective of fill or native material. That's the contours of the land. We also did a second plan. And this plan here, after Glenn went through the site and walked the perimeter of the site and identified where fill was placed on this land. And that's important for us because we know that some fill was placed within the area that traps water. Behind the house, there's a little bit of an impoundment where water collects. Under your bylaw, any impoundment that collects water is jurisdictional to your bylaw. But under the Wetlands Protection Act, it's 1/4 acre foot or more and 6 inches or more in depth. So our job was to determine the volume that this impoundment would hold. The problem is it's partly filled with fill. So Glenn, in addition to delineating the perimeter of the fill, did borings on the site and measured the depth of fill. Using that, we created a contour map that shows what the impoundment looked like before fill was placed. Using AutoCAD, we calculated the 0.235 acre foot volume that Glenn reported to you at your last meeting. That's kind of close to 1/4 acre foot. So I had a separate engineer in the office do a separate analysis using HydroCAD as a second means, make sure that our methodology and our calculations are valid. That confirmed that number. So we have a good confidence level that the 0.235 acre foot volume is valid. And that would conclude that this area of flooding is not isolated land subject to flooding under the Wetlands Protection Act. Subsequent to that, we did generate a plan which we will be filing with you, but basically this area here is Mr. Fan's backyard. What we would propose is grading to give him a little bit of a yard here and leveling out the area in back, but generating the same volume of storage that takes place now, so that at that time of the year when water fills in, this will operate as it did before, but still leave Mr. Fan with a decent backyard, a little bit of a flat area, and the area behind there, no holes stuff, so people can't fall in the irregularities or trip over the bumps. That will be the plan we will supply to you when Glenn files the notice of intent.
all right, very good.
Can I answer questions?
No, I think it's probably more appropriate to wait until the 27th.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Since we have about 8 minutes before the next public hearing at 7:30, is there a motion to adjourn until 7:30?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the vote. We are adjourned until 7:30. Thank you.
Of the
All right.
TCPX pipe.
The next item on our agenda is the 7:30 public hearing, a request for determination filed by Robert Nolet for earthfill and the construction of a single-family dwelling at 22 Ashcroft Street here in Auburn.
Is that a motion to?
Is there a motion? We need a motion. All right.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to come out of the recess, please?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the vote. Thank you, Ms. Conroy. All right. So, is someone here on behalf of Mr. Nolet?
Yep.
Thank you.
So my name is Mark Hughes. This is Bob Nolet. I'm the owner, he's the builder. We're here to request a determination for the this lot.
Okay.
We're staying completely outside of all the buffer zones. So I'm not sure what else to
We
say.
need a motion to open this
Oh,
hearing
I'm sorry.
too.
I started doing that.
Oh, okay, well,
All right, is there a motion
Sorry.
open?
I make motion that we open the hearing.
Is there a second?
I'll second
All
that.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed to vote. I had made that and then you interrupted me.
yeah, I know, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So I believe there was a question as to whether the wetland delineation line was still valid.
Yeah, I called the engineering firm and they said that we should still be all set.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at the plan that was prepared for a Richard and Linda Lukes back in 2010.
Yes.
Have you been out there lately to see if the flags are still in place?
There's like a couple of them still in place, but I mean, some of them are missing.
Okay.
We'll certainly, have them reflagged, people.
Well, I think, again, speaking for myself, I haven't had an opportunity to go out to the property, but I do want to take a look.
So does it-
Especially since it's been 6 years since the property was, or the wetlands were delineated on the property.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I did do a site visit there on Monday. It started to rain about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
And I got out of the car, there was so much Japanese knotweed growing that I couldn't see anything, basically.
Okay.
It was pretty well overgrown, so.
Mr. Benoit, you have anything to offer on this?
No, Mr. Chairman, unless you want me to go through the history of kind of how we got here. This is a concurrent application with the planning board.
Please.
Be good, yeah.
So, sorry, I'm here today, but
It's all right.
Matthew Benoit, town planner. The applicant's here today because they received a special permit from the planning board for Hammerhead Lot 2010. This was approved during the period of 2008, 2012, which is under what's called the Permit Granting Extension Act,
Right.
which allows them not just the 2 years from 2010, but an additional 4 years on top of that was put in place based on the recession. So the special permit for the Hammerhead Lot was still active up until September 2016, this coming September.
Okay.
The applicant came into the planning board recently, got a 6-month extension for that special permit, while they continued to pursue permits from other regulatory boards. One of those at the 2010 meeting, from the video that I watched, is that they anticipated that the applicant 6 years ago would file at least an RDA with the commission. At that time, it didn't happen, at least there's no record of it anyway, so I believe that's why they've filed their application here now, to tidy up the rest of it. Within this last 6 years, we just bought the property this year, so it's as of the new ownership, trying to tie up the loose ends. And there's also a special permit for earth fill that's concurrent with the planning board. Their next hearing is on the 26th,
Okay.
which is the day before this commission's next
Schedule
meeting.
me again. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Benoit. So with your permission, we'd like to have a chance to go out, walk the land as Mr. Benoit indicated. This is based just on my memory. I don't recall ever receiving an RDA for this property back in 2010. So I believe one, in fact, was not filed with us. So I think, in terms of our due diligence, we should walk the site before we act on this, if that's agreeable to you.
Yeah, I mean, that's really disappointing because that'll push us out a good month, but I mean, if that's what we need to do.
Well, as I indicated before, I'm not really comfortable acting on this, without taking a look.
It's
Sure.
only gonna be 2 weeks, it's the day after the planning board hearing.
Yeah, but this is the day after the planning board, that means the planning board gets pushed out to the next one. Because the planning board's the day before.
Yeah, we need this to do the planning board meeting.
Right,
Oh,
Well, again, I'm not prepared to act on this.
okay.
If other members of the board disagree, speak up now, forever hold your peace.
Like I said, when I went there, it was raining. I didn't get out of the car, but based on, I don't see how you could get down. Maybe there's a path going around the side or something.
Yeah, sure, when you do visit, you want to go to the
I mean, I know it's
road.
overgrown, I understand. It was so high. I was like, wow, I can't even see down where it slopes. And I
Yeah.
had the print with me.
So if you go towards the left of the road, there's
Okay.
a little dirt path that goes
There is,
down.
okay.
It's steep, but it's
Mhm.
walkable.
Okay.
All right. We have a large audience here. Are there any other questions from the board? Okay. Any questions from the public?
My name is Richard and my wife Julie, we're butters. We live at 28 Inwood Road.
Okay, what's your last name, sir?
Shillelagh, S-H-I-L-A-L-A.
Yes, sir.
And our concern from the last meeting was if they're going to use fill, what type of fill they're going to use. Is it going to be checked? So it is what is proposed in terms of the fill. Any runoff of water, how's it going to affect our lot, which is again adjacent? Those kinds of questions we had.
and they're good questions. Let me explain a little bit what the process here is. Under both the Wetlands Protection Act and our bylaws, we have jurisdiction within a certain number of feet of a wetland area or a rivers area. In this particular case, the applicant is asserting that whatever work they're doing is beyond our jurisdiction, which is 100 feet within the wetland area. And so what I have suggested is that we're going to, because to the best of our knowledge, this has never been presented to us before. We're going to go out there, we're going to take a look, we're going to check the wetland area, check the wetland flags to the extent they exist, and then try to determine, based on our review of the wetland area, where the project is being built. Now, this board does not issue earth fill permits, the planning board does. And so my suggestion would be that if you have questions regarding, and these are you know, pertinent questions, obviously as anybody you have an interest in knowing what is going to be placed there. But my suggestion would be that you actually attend the next planning board meeting on the 26th. Because you're asking questions that I honestly can't answer for you, sir. Okay?
That's the 26th?
Yes,
Tuesday.
that's the planning board.
That's
Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else?
Ed Brusso, 69 Berlin Street.
Yes, sir.
I just wondered, when will the commission go out and take a look at the, is that this week?
It probably won't be this weekend. I think it'll be the weekend after, which will be the 23rd.
23rd. Week from Saturday.
Okay. All right, so Sheila, if you could present the form to Mr. Nolet.
Oh, sure.
And what time do you think? 8 o'clock? We need to allow a half an hour for Faith Ave.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. This is the
Just put,
23rd?
yeah, just put today's date,
Oh.
as of this day you're allowing us to
Seven.
continue.
Is there any other information the board would want to know at the next meeting that I should prepare for or anything like that?
Do you know who did the original wetland flagging back in 2010?
It was Field Resources and I forget the engineer.
Do you have any, do you have their field logs or anything like that?
I can try to get that.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get that to us before the next meeting, that's
Yeah, I mean,
certainly
I've
really
talked to them.
helpful.
They have all the files and everything, so.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay.
When was that originally filed?
What?
When was it flagged?
I think it was, according to the plan, it was flagged back in April of 2010.
Oh, okay.
So, obviously through time.
Yeah.
All right, is there a motion to continue the public hearing?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote. All right, thank you very much. We'll see you on the 27th.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
Yes,
Okay.
8 o'clock. It's a late one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
What's that?
You're trying to pull it up, right?
Oh, we're talking about the other,
That's right, that's why.
because that's pretty much what we've already got on paper here, isn't it?
Right, it is.
I'm trying to remember if there was something else. Earth fill. That's a heck of a. I'm just looking at the overall plan. Look at the snaking driveway. Is that just to like get in there with the topography?
It was a hammerhead line.
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh, that's why we need to take a look.
We don't see that too frequently.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
I mean,
How long is that driveway?
well, and look at the
Oh, look, this has been continued, so
Yeah.
we'll pick this up the next time. We have 3 minutes, but I'm not going to discuss.
It'd be outside of our jurisdiction anyway.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's really that's the focus.
27.
Well, that wasn't here, it's like, you've also got the 100-foot buffer on the other side, too. It's like on the one side, you have 200 foot, it's like something that's safely outside, but there's also 100 on the other side.
No, no, they're at 7:30. I've got two new ones. I've got Mrs. Bemis at 7. That's 462 Lester Street. And the second one is...
That's okay, I thought it was here.
Oh, the second one is lot 7, 8, and 9 Whitetail Run.
Just, as another housekeeping matter more than anything else, we've received notification from the Tennessee Gas Pipeline Company of pipeline maintenance activities. And they do not need to file a request for determination of applicability or anything else with us because it's exempted maintenance under the Wetlands Protection Act and also the Clean Water Act. So if any of you have any questions regarding the pipeline maintenance, there is a person we can contact at the firm of Hatch, Mott, and McDonald in Springfield.
Oh, that's happening now, that's what it was, okay.
I guess the only question I'd have is, where is this pipe?
I don't know.
Well, maybe we can ask her.
Yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't have an image or some sort of focus.
I think, in fact, what I'll do is I will actually contact Ms. Albanese and ask her if she can tell us where this pipe is. Looks like there are 2 of them. One more minute. That clock is wrong. You got it?
Yep.
All right, the next item on our agenda is the public hearing for Casella Waste Management, an abbreviated notice of intent for the replacement of an existing 12,000 gallon capacity underground oil/water separator used for on-site stormwater management. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Gentlemen,
That's for last.
thank you for your patience.
Who said we got the best for last?
We did, right?
We all said.
That was the guy in the black
Well,
shirt.
agreed.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Michael Walsh. Mike Walsh with Walsh Engineering Associates. Here on behalf of Casella Waste Management, Inc. Paul Degnan, who is the general manager of the Auburn Transfer Station, and Brian Kearns is also the office.
Okay, very good.
Good evening.
So,
we're here to present a project, and hopefully we can take advantage of plans on the screen.
Yes, we did send them to the email, and unless Matt put them on this one, I sent them to our email.
Looks like it's gonna be an email.
I do have a USB with them on here on the not successful.
there.
there's 5 separate plans.
Of course. Of course, the screen is never big enough to show you all the detail.
Yeah.
All right.
I was regretting
Can
not
you
bringing
zoom in
phone
on
boards.
that, or?
Oh yeah, but then you can't see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we can work through it, I think. So I guess I'll continue here. The project itself is centered around a replacement of an existing oil water separator underground double wall tank on site. It provides pre-treatment of stormwater captured on site and discharged to the detention pond at the site. One thing that became apparent last year during maintenance of the tank is that there was some deterioration of the tank, some rust observed, and it really just is coming to the end of its useful life. So Casella has opted obviously to replace the tank.
How old is it?
I believe it was installed in 1996.
Okay. And what's the capacity?
12,000 gallons is the tank, and we're proposing to replace in kind 12,000. Very similar tank. It is the original was a Highland tank, manufactured steel tank, and this is as well. There are some general improvements to the tank over time. One is the coating. It's got a 75 mil polyurethane coating on it, which we like. It eliminates the need for anode and cathodic protection of the anodes. Reduces maintenance and increases the longevity of the tank, or should.
For how long?
Well, there's a 10-year manufacturer's warranty, so I guess I never.
Hopefully more than 10 years.
I hope so too. Yeah, it should.
Is that comparable, 20 or 25?
Yeah, I think so. With maintenance and some of the improvements on controls going into the tank that we've made, it should last for longer than 10 years. Do you want me to get into kind of just a general description of the system? So again, the tank essentially is very similar. There are some new additions to it. There's 2 structures, 2 manhole structures. You'll see the largest 2 dark circles. For orientation, I guess, as we look at this, one I guess people look at.
So
What's over there?
we go back to the overall site and show where.
So it's if you scroll above where you see there, the facility is the large gray roof there, a whitish roof.
And you can see the detention pond.
Right, and the detention pond is on the just below the detention pond. As you look at the screen, there's a concrete structure over the existing oil water separator. So that's it right there.
Okay.
And then just adjacent to the left is the truck scale. That's the structure there in Scale House. For reference, to your right is Hart's Gravel Road. There's a grass slope that heads down to Hart's Gravel Road. And the reason we're here and have filed an abbreviated notice of intent is the discharge from the site and the street. There's a wetland area, a mapped wetland area there. So the work is, again, I don't know if you see the dotted line, this shows you, thank you for scrolling to that sheet. And the hatched area below it on the bottom of the screen is the 100-foot buffer from that wetland. We did have a delineation done by Ducharme Dillis this year, February 10th, I guess it was, just to confirm what we thought we knew from our last project, that there is indeed a wetland, and that's what they determined to be the 100-foot buffer.
Right.
So this work obviously requires some excavation and replacement of structures. Like I said, the 2 darker circles adjacent to the tank are new manholes. Basically, one to redirect flow, the piping, to the new tank. There's a little different configuration coming into the tank, so it needs to be realigned. It also provides us an opportunity to put 4-foot deep sumps in each of them to provide some more sedimentation, some more pre-treatment. The one above, the smaller circle, is a 4-foot diameter structure. That will also, we plan to put a snout hood on the outlet pipe. I don't know if you're familiar with those, but it's just a hood on the outlet that provides some retention of oil. Water has to obviously travel up and out, kind of a mini oil water separator, if you will. It also protects against floatables, moving downstream and potentially into the tank. It drains from there to the larger dark circle is the 6-foot structure, and again that aids in kind of settling flow. and then distributing flow back into to the oil water separator to the right. We've done some changes in piping to make sure, one of the biggest focuses on this was to make sure that the flow was within the manufacturer's recommendation to meet ideal treatment conditions. And really that is, for that tank, 1,200 gallons per second is the flow rate, maximum flow rate for it to be effective in separating oil from the storm water. There is one change in that you should be aware of. Above, you see the waste scale, I guess it's noted above. We're proposing to put in a new 6-inch drain line to that structure and therefore into the oil water separator. The reason for that is talking with Paul, and it just apparently is an operations issue, maintenance issue, is that the water is not fully draining from the scale at all times, and so they've had to pump it out at times and have run into ice and other conditions that make it tough on the scale operations. We think it's a good solution. We did run HydroCAD to look at the potential impact to peak flows off-site. It does not increase the overall peak flow discharging from the site. Really what falls into that structure, that foundation for the scale, is what falls on it, so it's not a large footprint. About, I think it's 10 foot by 70 feet. And we think it's a good solution too, to have the oil water separator as protection too, in the event that there might be an incident on the scale of a hydraulic hose or something similar rupturing. So in general, that's the system itself. The tank it's a separator. The idea is to get kind of plug flow through the system, and coalescer plates are used to aid in the separation of the oil and help it coagulate and rise to the surface. So there's several HDPE plates on an incline, kind of a corrugated surface on the bottom that aids in that action, and then the droplets coalesce, rise to the surface. The tops of those plates are smooth to allow if there's any sediment to fall back into kind of the sediment area of the tank. On the 3.1 may have it's a 3.1. It's sort of a cross section of the tank, a little tough to see. If you scroll down in the upper right of that, there it is. The coalescer plates are kind of the dark area in the middle of the tank. And then the final polishing units they call petro screens, but it removes the finer particulates of oil, polypropylene type filter that helps get down to a 20 micron size droplet, removal of that or separation of that within the tank. So that's generally the system. I don't know if you have questions specifically about that and how it's configured.
Well, I think I got my my book yesterday, and to be real honest with you, I didn't have a chance to review the whole thing, so I would like to actually take a look through it. I do have a couple questions. You're going to use a crane to basically pull out this the tank that's there now?
Yeah, likely it'll be a crane to set it.
And you think you can? Do you believe you can remove it intact in one piece?
Yeah, that'll be the contractor's responsibility.
Well, I
We hope
understand
so.
that. Okay.
Yeah, we hope so.
So in terms of a turnaround, if everything goes smoothly, what are we talking about in terms of beginning to end?
Yeah, we're having those discussions now and then kind of preparing for the bid process, and I was on the phone today, and certainly we want to shorten that timeline, obviously, as much as possible.
Right.
And I can't project, but I'd say we hope that we can do it within a week's time.
Okay. Now, what provisions will you make while you're in the process of replacing the oil water separator? What are you you're gonna be collecting liquid or a combined oil water solution in some other method, correct? Or are you gonna be stopping operations?
Well, we are not planning to stop operations, and that honestly is one of the trickier parts from a constructability standpoint, is that the truck scale remains operational
Right.
in the traffic way. No, we intended to divert stormwater into the detention basin
Okay.
and provide protection within the basin, some additional things. Basically wrapping the lower rings of the inlet structure to provide a little bit more detention, a little more filtration within the basin itself.
Okay.
We're placing a cofferdam, since the excavation is so close to the edge of one edge of the detention basin. The contractor is required to build a cofferdam and to protect any interaction between the pond and the excavation itself. They will likely need to dewater the excavation to some degree. So we've placed a specified dewatering area. I think that's on 2.0. So that specifically will be pumped one down, I think. Next sheet should show it.
It's slow, isn't it?
Doesn't want to cooperate for you. So in the lower right-hand corner to the right will be a filter bag set on stone and gravel. And there is a grassed area sloping down to the pond. So any dewatering would go through that.
Okay.
Be filtered in that method. Beyond that, there is silt fence below. It might be a little bit overdone, but we do have silt fence on that perimeter. On any paved areas, down gradient from work areas or potential stockpile areas, we're utilizing silt socks, essentially mulch-filled berms, essentially socks to protect any downstream catch basins and so forth. And then anything that is directly in line, any catch basin will have the contractor install inlet filters as additional protection.
When do you hope to go to bid on this?
Shortly.
Okay. And when do you propose to do the work?
There's a lead time on the tank of about 6 weeks. So we both go to bid and probably order the tank at the same time, so.
September, October?
Yeah, hopefully within September, we're hoping.
Certainly before the winter.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Does anyone on the board have any questions?
Did you say, excuse me, Chairman, did you say that the interior of this particular item would be the same as the previous one, the replacement?
Yeah, it's very similar.
Pretty much be the
Yeah.
same lining that, you mentioned that particular lining.
So the one I mentioned, it will be one and the same. There's what they call high guard coating, which is a polyurethane coating.
Yes.
So there will be a similar polyurethane coating on the interior of the tank as well.
Thank you.
Where do you dispose of a tank like that?
Question, probably scrap metal dealer, once it's cleaned, obviously.
All right. So I have been to the site, but not in a while. And again, I think I'd like to have an opportunity to just review your booklet here. So if you would indulge us, can we continue this for 2 weeks?
Sure.
Okay.
I would prefer not to, but we certainly want to give you an opportunity to review it.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we continue this hearing until our next meeting on July 27th at
7:45 at this point?
8:15.
8:15.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll second that.
Okay. Is there any further discussion?
Sheila, she made the motion, I'll second that.
Oh, okay, I had her.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Make sure you write it down, Sheila.
Thank you.
All right, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, to vote. All right, gentlemen, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Great, thank you.
What-
Are you gonna-
We're probably going to be making sidewalks on the 23rd, which is the Saturday before our next meeting.
Okay.
You know, if, you know what we look like, so we'll probably, you don't have to be there. So, we've been to the site before,
Okay.
and it's just really more of a formality than anything else.
And obviously you're open Saturday mornings.
We are. I would ask that everybody somebody sign in, let us know you're there.
We will.
Just so we can keep track of folks on the site, for safety reasons.
I understand.
So thank you very much.
It's not like we're, we're playing Pokemon Go or anything like that. So we will check in. All right.
If there's a need, if you have need, I'm more than willing to be there, so please let me know.
After I review this, if I do, I'll give you a call.
Great.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What a timely reference, Mike.
I
You
tried.
just had to throw it in there.
I did.
Give another couple months and nobody's still gonna be playing.
It's gonna sweep the nation.
Or you're gonna be playing during a meeting.
It's coming
I've
along.
never heard that till yesterday. It was on the news, and they
I'll
said,
watch
don't go
tomorrow
on
when
any
I go
private
see the
property or
doctor.
something. I'm like, what is this? And they're talking about it today,
Did you by any chance graduate from St. John's High School?
online.
I did not. I bet there has been a Mike Walsh or two that has.
I'm sure it's a common name, so it's just,
Yeah.
because I was wondering, my son went to school with him.
Yeah, I run into them on occasion, different Mike Walsh's around. Thanks again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Good night.
Alrighty, so I think that is everything that we have on our agenda for this evening. Does anyone have anything to bring up?
There was a note that came from the Massachusetts Commission, there it is right there, regarding water, drought, the central northeastern Mass on drought advisory.
Yes.
Yes, is there anything that would pertain to us there, anything we should need to be concerned about?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, not that I'm aware of either, but I,
Oh, except that if we're looking at wetlands and they're dry because of the drought, we
That's true.
exactly.
aware that they still might be wetlands when weather is normal.
Then we'd have to, do some digging. We'd have to look for
Right,
hydrosoils.
right. Then we're looking at the site visits, we have the Auburn Middle School, Ashcroft Street, and Cassell's on 23rd.
Yeah,
That
that's
sounds good,
the
okay.
plan. And what I'll do is I'll send an email, just everyone reminding
Okay,
people.
Sure.
good, thank you. That'd be great. 23rd.
Can we get some
Yeah.
copies of the plans that Dan had up there, as far as like the house plans and the layout and stuff like that? I'm sorry, for
Ashcroft?
yeah, for Ashcroft.
You can transfer it to email.
All I
The ones that are on
all I got was
desktop there.
that one plan, it was just like the slope, it's
Oh,
like a
yes.
topographical, but it didn't
Okay.
show any buildings where they're going with.
Well, I didn't-
Yeah,
right,
when
that's
I
right.
was
Yeah.
out in that,
The only plan that I got was the
Was that one plan?
email and.
was the delineation from 2000.
It's just
I'll
topographical,
just
that's
I'll
correct.
mark that down for the email.
Right.
Okay.
Is
Thank
this
you.
the one you're talking about?
Yeah, just that one plan.
Yeah.
It didn't show, it just showed like,
With the doctor person on the back, and this is the one, correct, okay, great.
right.
I'll mail it to all of you, okay?
Thank you.
Very good.
That's great.
You think you'll see Bill? No, you probably won't see Bill. You'll see Darlene though, right?
Yeah,
I just I'd like to try to get some clarity on 498 Rochdale Street.
yeah, I can email him.
Okay.
He usually, I'm
I'm
sure
sure
he's
he's
swamped
busy.
when he got
I'm
back,
sure he was too.
so
Okay.
I will ask him again, because I asked him for something myself, so.
Okay, very good.
Did you want any input from us on this?
Yeah, I mean, I would, because again, we got the last minute.
Right, it was just yesterday.
So please, if you have any questions, or if there's something in here that you know,
And before everyone gets ready to go, we gotta do something for Prospect Street. You're gonna vote on that tonight?
yes. Thank you for reminding us.
Boy, I only got about 4 hours of sleep. I'm doing pretty good.
Okay.
Good girl.
Oh, I mixed up with them last month. I didn't get them on the agenda in time. Okay. Anyone have a sheet there? This was an RDA. Oh, no, it's.
No,
yeah.
it's an amendment to amend the other
Okay.
conditions. I think the only thing that
Yeah.
needs to be amended
Yeah,
is for the new plan to be incorporated.
right, yeah.
Right.
So if there's a motion, I think that's really the only thing that needs to be changed.
I'll move to incorporate the new materials submitted into the existing plan.
Okay, and
So I'll put the plan, the date and everything,
Okay, vote.
and the engineer. Okay.
Let's make sure we're putting in the right
Dan,
plan.
your plan was to, your motion was to accept it, amended?
Sure I have it.
Is that what you just said?
Oh, okay,
To
to,
amend the order of conditions.
to approve it as amended, I guess,
Okay, I'll second that.
And improve it.
including the new materials.
And I think you need to be specific, Sheila,
Yep,
because this is, it's shown, it's 128 Prospect Street, but it's also shown as ANR number 5. And this is the plan, the last revision was on June 14th of 2016.
okay.
Okay? All right, so there's a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay.
That's the motion.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
No, he's going to submit the windmill estates, that he's going to submit the windmill estates.
Yeah.
Is that for you? My property. I'm assuming that's
The first meeting in August, like that last meeting,
I'm sorry to hear that.
most likely,
Okay, you want to
because the
sign that?
second meeting in August would be
Sign
the
the amend-
24th.
amended order?
I think I'd like to be good to be situated by then, let's
I
put it that way.
understand. Sure.
It's gonna be nice living up there.
Yeah,
Like Champlain.
I've just got to incorporate cost of living into the equation because that's going to be going up by a bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it'll be nice to be situated up there before fall starts.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see Champ while you're up there.
What's that? Oh,
Yeah.
is this like the cousin of Nessie?
Yeah, the cousin of Nessie, yep.
Champ.
No,
Oh,
never
boy.
know.
extra.
Oh, okay. All right, so you just have those 3 site visits.
We have 3 that scheduled for
Thank you.
23rd.
Okay. If there's no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Just have to make sure